Ready. I don't have my stabilizer, so the video is going to be a little bit shaky, but I just wanted to kind of do a little bit of a stream on this. Just bought this air blade, and this is what I've been using to like get around on. And so they've got this whole thing torn apart. Just bought this thing. They were having to replace like the gas line and some other stuff on it. Like the shop I bought it from wasn't all that great. I could tell they didn't really know what they were doing. But this is this guy's pretty sharp. So I got him working on it. None of these guys speak English, but yeah, it is hot here. It's always hot in Saigon. It's like 90 today. But I ain't got much to do, so I figured I'd hang out, maybe answer some questions. So I got I was at the blockchain event the past 2 days, and so I also wanted to, I got a bunch of video, like I was doing live streams on it, but I mean I was just sitting there kind of holding the camera, and it's really dry. And that's kind of one of the things about the blockchain events that I've noticed, is that they can be difficult to listen to sometimes. You've got speakers that have never really done public speaking, and they're getting in front of people and talking about a very technical subject sometimes, and they're really just kind of saying some of the same things over and over again. You know, but there was a few good speakers. So the top three, I will say, was very, very informative. I wanted to do a live stream on the Binance. So the speaker for Binance, in my opinion, was the best. Like, he got up there at the end of the day, on the first day, and he gave like a really great speech. And so like I recorded gosh, I didn't record a whole lot of the Binance speaker. I wanted to, but I took a couple of different pictures and whatnot. They have some interesting things they're working on at Binance, and they're planning on moving. They want to expand into Vietnam, which is kind of interesting. So they're headquartered in Hong Kong, and you know, Vietnam's basically an adjacent country, and it's a market for them. They're actually going to be hiring in Vietnam. They've got a couple of different positions they're looking at. So I might do a short little video on that, like maybe a little 5-minute video or something once I get my info. I've got a lot of video from the event. So I've got, I brought my iMac. I brought an iMac and a Thunderbolt screen over from America, and the screens got smashed when I was shipping it over. So I got to get the screens, like after I get my bike fixed here, that's where I'm going to be going next, is I'm going to be getting the screens fixed on that so that I can do some video editing, because I got a bunch of video from the event, and I want to cut up some of the best parts and put a little video together. I want to get a little bit more into video editing, I think. I'll be doing a little bit more of that. But yeah. My bike. Let me check in the chat a little bit. What's up, Mickey Bang Bang, Rage Against the Machine, Mike Harrow, Real Worthy, Chad Williams, anyone, Brian, Crypto on the Dip. It's a lot of news out there right now, and some of the regulations, the SEC declaring it like a security and whatnot. They were talking about that a little bit at the event, and how like these other countries like Singapore, Vietnam, Korea, Japan, and some of the different, you know, regulatory environments. Apparently, for some, like this lawyer got up, and he was one of the other really good speakers. I have a lot of video on that, and I'm going to be posting quite a bit of him talking. But he's I believe he's European, and he's a lawyer in Ho Chi Minh City, Saigon, as well as Hanoi, and he kind of works in the Vietnamese market in terms of regulatory issues. And he says that Vietnam is actually probably one of the best countries for research and development. So it is banned, and there's like some pretty strict laws about it. And we just had this blockchain event, which was going over a lot of the different issues with that. And so, you know, for some people, like, that's probably kind of a dry subject. It's kind of hard to listen to some of that stuff, but for me, it was kind of interesting, because like I want to, I'm trying to get some more clarity in that aspect. I mean, you're seeing right now, you're seeing people, you know, getting, you know, sued or getting probed by the FBI, or you know, getting cease and desist orders from the SEC. It seems like every kind of regulatory body right now is getting involved. There's about like 4 different governmental agencies, at least in the U.S., that are, you know, that are starting to clamp down. And it's different in some of these other countries, and so that's kind of what I'm interested in kind of working with, and kind of getting some more clarity on that and seeing where the opportunity is. There's a lot of opportunity here in Asia in cryptocurrency. So I got a chance to meet Charles Hoskinson, who was like one of the founders of Ethereum, Cardano, and Invictus are 3 of the projects that he was working on. So it was really cool to meet him, talk with him a little bit. He gave a speech. I missed it, unfortunately, but there was a couple of videos online, so I saw a little bit of it. But he's a really interesting guy, really bright, mathematical genius. So he's, you know, he's kind of more talking about like these 3rd generation coins, the newer projects. So essentially, Bitcoin being like a 1st generation coin, you've seen like Ethereum being like a 2nd generation coin, or you know, some of these other projects, and then you've got kind of a 3rd generation, which is kind of what he's working on right now with Cardano and a few other projects. And so they're kind of taking the technological innovation to the next level is kind of like what his focus was on. And each speaker at the event kind of had a different focus. So some were, you know, from government bodies that were doing issues, like doing more in-depth reviews on regulatory issues, and they're trying to be supportive. Like they want their country to be, you know, to have kind of like an innovative edge, but they want to figure out how to regulate it as well. So, so yeah, that's just kind of some of the different things. Don't you still have to pay U.S. taxes even though you're living, working abroad? Yeah, I do. Though I'm going to be looking at renouncing my U.S. citizenship pretty soon. I probably want to maybe get citizenship here in Vietnam, and maybe look in Cambodia. It seems like there might be some advantages there, maybe possibly Malaysia or Thailand. It's going to be a long process. So for right now, like I'm going to still pay taxes in the U.S. As I have to, but there's a lot of advantages to renouncing, and I've mentioned several times on my streams that Andrew, Nomad Capitalist, if you check him out, like he's got some great videos on some of that stuff. But he just recently did a video, which I recommend. If I get back to my computer, I'll put the link in the description below for those of you guys that are watching this after. But he's got a lot of great information, and I think right now with the regulatory environment and the crypto environment, I think that's going to be like a kind of a new area of opportunity. And you know, if you're looking at like, if you want to be legal and legit and doing everything in a compliant nature, there's a lot of stuff you got to do in the U.S. and some of these other countries, and there's going to be a lot of advantages to getting citizenship in another country and operating and doing business in another country. Malaysia is very friendly for new companies. Like essentially, if you establish a company or a business, you don't have to pay taxes for 10 years in Malaysia. So they're very, very supportive. Yeah, Pattaya is great. Pattaya, when I was there, I mean, it's like, it seems kind of a little bit more like a destination place. Like I know a couple people that live there, and they're just, you know, they just party all the time. It's a great party spot. But in terms of like a place to live, like I really kind of like living in some of the bigger cities. So here in Southeast Asia, the biggest city is Jakarta in Indonesia by far. It's like the 2nd largest city in the world. It's got like 30 million people. And then the next 2 biggest hubs are here, Ho Chi Minh City, Saigon, and Bangkok. And so there's some differences between, but here in Saigon is like 90% motorbikes. Like you can see, like there's not even enough room for a car on this road here. It's nothing but motorbikes. And they have garages specifically built for motorbikes everywhere. It's like, it's a motorbike city. And they don't even have like it's a major, it's a giant city, and they don't even have like metro lines set up yet. Like they're working on it, and they're building a new airport, and they're doing some different things. But it's a very compact city, and it's interesting, the layout. I'm still trying to find out maybe possibly areas I want to live. There's different parts of the city that are, you know, so District 1 is the most, like that's the one downtown. That's where all the expats are. It's most congestion. There's tons and tons of traffic down there. So I'm kind of looking maybe just outside of there. There's a couple different districts. They have a new district that is like all Chinese money. They're building like the tallest skyscraper in Vietnam right now. And this kind of new giant like residential complex that's over in District 2, which is just above District 1. And right now I'm in Tan Binh, which is right near the airport. So I'm staying in that district, and I'm going to be kind of looking out, like, you know, kind of looking at different areas. I've got a girlfriend in, I think it's the District 8, which is a little bit further away. And so I've been driving down there. I bought my bike in District 7. It's kind of like the Hunger Games, like the way they label them. But yeah, this is gonna be wild. They said it's gonna be about like 3 hours. 3 hours to fix my bike, but they are tearing this thing apart. I'll show you guys. Paying the Bitcoin in repair? Yeah, kinda. I mean, basically, I've got my Coinbase account with my shift card, and I just pull out cash. So yeah, I mean, paying for the repair essentially with cryptocurrency. Yeah, but they were tearing, like, this kind of needed to be done. It was like a used bike, and it's like, you know, it just needed to be taken apart. I got a good deal on it, they said, but they're taking this whole thing apart. They're taking the fuel line out. Let's see here. So I'm paying $1,200,000 dong, which is like, I don't know what the conversion is on that. I know it's like 2 million's like $80, so I'm gonna end up paying, I think, about $50 to fix it. It's gonna cost about $50. Like, I don't know what this would cost in the U.S. You know, but you can get so much. It's a lot less expensive to get things done. I mean, they're completely like rebuilding the bike for like $50. So let me check in with the chat a little bit. Finecoin, yeah. I want to look a little bit more into Finecoin. I know actually I've had quite a few people talking about that on my stream. I know some people they've been talking a little bit about that. That might be an interesting project to get into. I think what I'm going to do is, once I kind of get more set up, I kind of mentioned this on one of my last streams, is I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be going back over the top 100 coins and kind of like some of those different positions and going through, you know, kind of how they've changed. So like coins that have been added to different areas, coins that perform well, and that sort of thing. Because there's not a whole lot of people that are really talking about the altcoin market. You have a lot of people talking about Bitcoin, not a whole lot of people talking about the different movements with the altcoins, and that's really where the opportunity is right now. Some of the trader. Is BitConnect one of your top 100? I think it's a good buying price right now. I was kind of waiting for it to come down to like $2, and right now it's $2. So, you know, they're moving forward with their exchange. It's anybody's guess as to how well that's going to perform. There was a topic of conversation at the conferences here, decentralized and centralized exchanges in Vietnam. So I was watching a video that Craig was doing. I thought it was kind of interesting. So like, there's some different aspects to that, and there was some interesting dialogue between the speakers that we're talking about. So some of that I have video on, some of it I don't. I'd say that's about 50-50, but I'm gonna try to take some of my best stuff and put it together, because it's kind of hard to watch it all the way through, because it's done live, right? So you know, it's a very dry subject, but there was bits and pieces in there that were actually very, very informative, and I thought it was well worth that. So, Thorn coin exit scam coming. Yeah, I didn't really get into that one. Thorn coin, I didn't get into Dabber coin, some of those other projects. I wouldn't say it would be like one of my top 100. But yeah, I think that's what I wanted to. I was doing the top 20, like I was doing the top 100 coins and splitting it up into 20 coin increments. So basically your inverse market cap, like your mid-market coins, your billion-dollar coins, your top market cap coins, and getting my top 5 picks. So I was basically saying, I'm gonna roll with like these 20 coins. However, there's like a lot of other coins that like I'm investing in quite a bit in, like privacy coins and kind of smaller projects. Like one of the big ones that like here in Vietnam, there's actually certain coins that are really doing well within the Vietnamese communities that aren't really being promoted outside of that community, if that makes sense. So there's not a whole lot of people talking about Elixir, but Elixir is being heavily promoted here in Vietnam, which I think is really interesting, and it's going to be one of my coins I'm going to get into. There's a few other projects and exchanges, like Ether banking is a big one for some reason. It's big here, being promoted pretty heavily in Vietnam, and there's several other projects. And there's communities here. There's like Facebook groups that seem to be pretty big. Telegram groups. People are organizing Telegram groups and different things. Like that was big at the conferences. I was talking to a few people, and they were doing some different reviews on some of those platforms. Clover, I've been trying to run Hotspot for a week or two, but it's so buggy. I don't think I'm going to turn it on. Hoping from you about your experience and some good numbers. Yeah. So with Hotspot, one of the issues that I was having, and I'm not sure if this is an issue that you're having, but there was a lot of disconnectivity with the server platform, and that was something that was in a way that the software was built. It's kind of outside of your control. So you just kind of have to basically like restart the service. You just have to keep like restarting it, and that wasn't good enough for me. And that was one of the reasons why I got turned off on the platform. Was there wasn't like any real data or platform to kind of give you information on your connectivity to the different API exchanges and whatnot. And so I was thinking there's going to be a little bit better to do something like that in-house. There's like Gunbot, and there's a few other like kind of automated trading that aren't necessarily going to give you the same kind of returns, but are still pretty good. I want to get more into that, and that's something I wanted to do here. However, it's technically illegal from the way I'm understanding it, and I want to get a lawyer's opinion about that before I move forward with plans to set up like a server, like a server for doing trading bots here in Vietnam. But that's kind of like the plan of like if I got to move the operation to Hong Kong or something, I might, or Cambodia, maybe that's what I got to do. Yeah, I mean, it has such potential, but yeah, it's very technical. So, I mean, it's if you got into it, you may have gotten like a 3-month license, and so like it's kind of a steep learning curve, especially in that first month. So when I was getting into it, it was I was spending all day in California trying to figure it out, and working with the guy that I was working with there, who's now working on the Millennium ICO, which I've been promoting a little bit. There's some interesting, kind of aspects to it. I think where I want to get more like help from developers and whatnot, and that's kind of my background before when I was kind of working with developers on that sort of thing. So, like that's where I've always kind of felt like I wanted to move, and trying to find a good place for that outside of the U.S. and in a place in Southeast Asia that's going to be a favorable climate for that. So that's kind of my long-term plan, and something I've been talking quite a bit about. It's a good it's going to be a better atmosphere here in Southeast Asia for setting something like that up, especially from like a taxation and regulatory compliance perspective. Crypto Hopper is a cloud bot. Yeah, I don't know about cloud bots. You know, that's just, I don't know enough about it. I don't know if it's something that I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, if just kind of using like mining as an example, like I would much rather get into like working directly with the company that's doing the mining. There's actually one here in Vietnam that I want to do something on. It's in an industrial district here somewhere, and so I'm going to be getting involved with them. Like I have a little bit of money in cloud mining and Genesis, like barely any. I got a couple of Ethereum contracts, but I don't know. I never really got into cloud mining. The cloud aspect, I want to be more connected to it. Like I want to be more involved. Like I'm not just throwing money into a system and just cross my fingers, I guess. Like I want to know more about what I'm getting invested in. But I mean, if you're having success with it, I'd certainly watch somebody's experiences with that. Set up mining in Venezuela. Yeah. I've never been to South America. I would, you know, I'd be interested in going. I really want to get to Iquitos, Peru. So, it costs less than $600 to mine a Bitcoin there. I was hearing some negative reports about that Petro coin that they were working on, because that's kind of been big in the news in Venezuela, is the Petro coin that they're kind of nationalizing, and I think they wanted to make like mainstream by like 2020 or something, like sometime soon. Or maybe that was Dubai. I know Dubai was doing one, but Venezuela's got, yeah, I think it's live right now. It's like that Petro coin that they're working on. So, yeah, I don't know. Venezuela's really corrupt. I don't know. They say the same thing about Indonesia, though. And like when I was in Indonesia, I kind of like understand the culture a little bit better out now after having spent some time there. So every country's going to be a little bit different. You can hack Binance or you can hack Crypto Hopper. If you were looking for an easy target, you would pick cloud bot sites and you do what the spoils and just did on Binance the other day. Yeah, I think diversification is going to be like, that's the big thing I've been preaching. Is, you know, if you see some projects, like I would just add it to your list and try to kind of diversify as much as you can, have things out, you know, a little bit, like even things out, have a good distribution. I mean, I was a little bit, you know, when I was traveling through Asia, you know, last year, I was a little bit more centralized because I didn't really have the time to spread out my coins as I would have liked. It's kind of easier to trade and do some things when you have it consolidated. I guess there's more opportunity that way, but now I think it's best to just diversify and hold. So I'm gonna take I'll do a video like when this thing is finished. Clover coin is the way to go. Yeah, I gotta work on that. I want to get my acronym up. Make sure no one gets my acronym. How many cc? It's less than 125. Like it's not a big bike. Like, how big's the engine? Oh, let's see. Like, yeah. Like, it's a tiny little engine. Like, that's it. Right there. I'm just taking this whole thing apart. Yeah, lawnmower engine. It gets the job done, though. Yeah, I'll give you guys a little bit of the outside here. Nah, it's all mopeds here. Barbershop. Oh. Yeah, sorry I don't have my stabilizer. It's gonna be a little bit shakier. But all right, guys. I'll let you know how the mechanic shop turns out. Hey, want to be on my live stream? Yeah. Everyone's friendly here. How much is gas? It's cheap. Everything's cheap, man. It costs me like, it's like a 3.5 gallon or 3.5 liter gas tank, or a little bit more than 3 liters, and it cost me like about $1.50 to fill up. So it's cheap. That's the nice thing I like about Vietnam. It's like I can live on like $5 a day here. So. All right, guys. I'll catch you guys on the next one. I'm going to try to get some video editing done and give you guys some more focused info soon. Talk to you later.